Good morning and happy Tuesday. How is everybody today?
Good.
Good
How are you,
morning.
Chirag?
I'm doing well. So, welcome to our second session of Agent Talk. And I'm excited to share Angela with you because if I think of Angela and I sum her up in two words from the day I met her, it's all in. Like I remember the first time walking into Angela's office and she was just like, I'm so excited to meet you. I can't believe I'm the compass. I'll do every single thing you say. Just know I'm all in. And that was very representative of a relationship from like the first day we started working together.
Mhm.
And Angela exemplifies everything that represents someone who's open to possibility, trying new things, and ultimately open to the whole road that comes with that. So, with that note, Angela, welcome. So, tell a little bit, everyone, about who you are, about your team, and where you work.
I'm going to do that, but I'm going to start with a quote that I found this morning when I got up. And I think one of the things that I struggled with until I got onto a team, and I think maybe we all struggle with as being realtors, it's really it's a solo industry. No matter what, at the end of the day, you are your own island. And you can have teammates that you share things with, but it's not like when I was in technology and I could share with, somebody else who was handling the other type of industry that I was in to collaborate. So it said, the sun is alone too, but it still shines. And I think that for me, that is my motto for 2021. We're, alone because of the stupid pandemic. We have our team and our own little islands, and some of us have to be remote because of being exposed, et cetera, but we can still shine on. So anyway, that was my little blurb of the day. Um,
Oh, the,
I started at Compass almost 2 years ago, and Chirag is exactly correct. I walked in. I have two kids that one is at Clemson, the other one graduated from Clemson, and their motto is all in. So when I came to Compass, for all the reasons I came here, all of a sudden it was absolutely true. It was the technology, it was the collaborate without ego, it was the endless possibilities, and now, of course, the possibility of an IPO. But I think what we are doing is we are changing the way we do business, but allowing us as realtors to do what we do best, which is go out, be rainmakers, craft the deals. And the technology is sort of the wind beneath our wings, allowing us just to continue to move forward instead of being bogged down by doing things repetitively or not doing things innovatively. So I think that's what I'm most excited about Compass and why I'm here and why I continue with Chirag's help to be successful. And I will say, I am the number one Chirag fan. He understands me. I'm sure he understands each one of you. So he takes what you guys have and exploits your strengths and then helps you minimize those weaknesses, which we all have.
okay. So, well, thank you.
You're
And tell them
welcome.
a little bit. So, where do you work?
I work Compass, Greenwich, Connecticut. We are a suburb of New York City. We are about 45 minutes to an hour outside of New York City. We're along the coast. We're affectionately known as a beach town. So it's a really amazing place to raise a family.
So you can see how passionate she is. Most people would say, I'm from New York, I'm from Greenwich. But Andrew's like, Greenwich, there's a beach. And like, that's her enthusiasm that she carries into with her clients. Tell a little bit about your team, right? When I met you, it was just you and Jen. And where are you guys today?
Exactly. So as of today, we now have 5 people on my team. We have Jen, who started with me as my assistant, as an hourly assistant. And, it's really difficult to make that leap, right? We all have our monies and we worry, can we pay somebody else? Then she became full time. And thanks to Chirag, he taught me about finances and making sure that I pay my employee and I pay myself. And then we put money into the business. Actually, it's the business, then myself. I just hired another full-time admin. Jennifer is a licensed realtor for the past 3 years, so she's handling clients. I have Megan Sullivan, who's on my team. If any of you have ever heard of the Moms Network throughout the country, Nashville Moms, Houston Moms, New York City Moms, Upper East, Upper West, she actually started the Moms Network. And it started here in Greenwich, and she then is now all over the entire country. So she joined my team, as well as Lisa is now on my team, Lisa Wanderer, and she is originally from Miami. Ben Moss, I know she's very good friends with you, and she's excited because of the migration from the East Coast, from specifically Greenwich to the Miami area. That's going to be her main focus. And she lived in New York City, so she's going to be doing New York City to Greenwich and Greenwich to Miami. That will be her focus.
see clarity, right, guys? You see how clear she is on her town, who her team members are, what they're doing. That's something really important to pull out of this. So, one of the things I want to talk to about you specifically today that you could share with everyone, relationship building, right? You like Angela's one of those people where you could sit down with her and have like a sophisticated business meeting, or you could go in a bar and shoot the shit with her and watch a Clemson football game, right? So, in terms of the say what you said, like how Compass allows you to utilize the technology, the CRM and relationships, let's talk a little bit and share with them like how are you using the CRM, right? And
Mhm.
how are you using it to manage relationships? And let's start there.
The CRM is by far and away the number one reason I came to Compass. It was why I had left initially Prudential when they became Berkshire Hathaway for Houlihan Lawrence, a boutique, very large boutique firm here in Connecticut. By the way, they're number one. I guarantee you Compass will overtake them. Um, I don't care what anybody says. Look, I'm 57. There's not a chance in hell I can remember people's names, birthdays, addresses, what house they bought, let alone, the host of other things we have to remember as realtors. The CRM is that catch-all for everything that I want to accomplish, and it tells me when I have to accomplish it. The key really is garbage in, garbage out. So if you clean up your CRM and you make it as efficient as possible in terms of what the information you want, there's no end in sight to what it can do. So I use it for, and now I have my assistant doing it, current addresses, birthdays, anniversaries. We are sending every month to everybody, every one of my clients that has ever bought from me gets a bouquet of flowers sent to them, a floral arrangement, if you will. So that's tagged in there. We send newsletters. We just did a collaboration with Nantucket. There's a big rental market between Greenwich and people going to Nantucket for the summer. So we just did a newsletter specifically partnering with a partner up on Nantucket. The ability to send the newsletters with timely information, 2020 stats, what's come on the market, maintenance for the year. I sent them an entire new checklist of here's your maintenance stuff that's going to be due all year long, January, February, March, etc. It is that CRM is everything. And the fact that it captures all the information for you, it has all the emails. You don't have to go to the email and then look in the CRM, pull up the person's name, open up the tab, and you can see the entire conversation and everything else you need. Also, as a realtor, I forget where the heck this person came from. I don't know. Did my neighbor refer them? Did another realtor? It has that information. So I can quickly say, I remember when Michael referred you to me, or blah, blah, blah. People just want to feel like you've remembered them. You remembered some tidbit of information about them, that you care essentially. And we all care, but we get so busy throughout our lives. The CRM just gives me that information. So when I go in, I can do what I do best, which is really, I do care, but I forget lots of details.
Raise your hand if you know what she's talking about, right? So we have a couple honest people here. So if so this is a really good example. The one thing we did not hear you ever talk about was, well, I wish it had this, right? So before I go to my next concept I want Angela to share is, look, she's focused on what she has in front of her and what it can actually do and getting the most out of that. I find, right, Angela, everyone's always looking for like these magic solutions that do everything, but do you ever see these people actually get started doing anything?
Mm-mm. No,
So
it's
in,
analysis
in
by
terms of
paralysis.
exactly. So in terms of getting started, you are a fairly busy person, right?
Mhm.
How do you schedule in the time and prioritize this? Because I know from the winter till now, you've been committing time consistently for months for this cleanup. Explain to them what you actually did and how it worked.
Literally going through uh, person by person, contact by contact. The very first thing, and I will tell you 100% honestly, it is a work in progress. The one thing I had to do was condense all my tags. And I took the Compass training, talk about tools. Gosh, we have so many tools. The Compass training with all the different heads, Doug Heading, et cetera, they all gave their perspective on how they're using their tags. My most important mission for this year is getting my tags to be very succinct so that myself, my team, and more importantly, Maureen, who is our admin, who I'm calling the point person, I actually call her our client concierge, she can understand who these people are by their tags. So we cleaned it up very simply. That was the first thing. And we are literally spending a half hour a day, whether it's while I'm watching freaking Alabama blow out Ohio State last night, or at work, 1/2 hour a day, cleaning up and trying to get 20, 25 of my contacts cleaned up. I have over 4,000. So it's the segregating. You can do things so powerfully with this CRM. You can segregate it. People that are looking, toddlers, people that are having their kids go to kindergarten, people that are in school, send out something to them, whether it's nail salons or the moms are going crazy right now in my town with remote learning, not remote learning. The more we can segregate and understand who these people are, but not too wide of buckets, the better we will be in keeping in constant communication with them.
So you say segmenting, time blocking, right? So
Chirag taught me
you
that.
you understand there's no instant gratification in all this. So given this, right? We'll use a typical agent. Everyone's really busy. They're running around with clients. How do you prioritize doing something that does not give you money right away?
You know what? It's not easy. That is for sure. I have to look at it in the big picture, and I've learned to say no, and I've learned to become more organized with my time. But there are times like yesterday where all of a sudden we had a whole bunch of stuff coming our way, and my admin is like, "No, Angela told me to do this," and I said, "You know what? This is an instance where I agree we should have said no, but we need to tackle this right now because in the long term, this project is going to help. It was a marketing project with Adam. So it's not easy. I'm trying to stay focused as can be. And I'm doing my to-dos in smaller chunks because if I have too big of chunks, I get overwhelmed. And it goes back to my analysis by paralysis.
Can you give
I
us an
get things done.
example of the old way versus your new way?
The old way would have been, I'm going to sit down this week and I'm going to do all of my contacts. I don't have any time to do that. The new way is taking it in chunks. The old way would have been, I am going to do my newsletter tomorrow. Not, it's, I'm going to schedule to do 2 newsletters a month. I sat down with my team yesterday. We outlined conceptual topics of what we want to cover. Instead of me doing it, I'm learning to let go of some things. And I'm delegating it to the girl who's on my team. She's the Greenwich mom. She's pregnant with her 4th child. She doesn't want to do the showings that I do 9 to 5 almost every day of my life. She said, I'll take it. And I said, go for it. And I have to have confidence in the people that are on my team. Again, Chirag said this to me, hire the people that are going to complement my strengths and my weaknesses.
So let's talk about having confidence in let go, Fran. Yep, here it is. We can play the Frozen song, right? Who's a parent on the side note? I
Let
see
it
all the smiles.
go.
They've heard Frozen 8,000 times. We talk about
Yep.
we transition into 2 things. One, like delegating, right? This is a concept that we can all do.
Mm-hmm.
And how when it was in the beginning, if you're doing this with me, it's like military boot camp. I'm the guy that's going to push you in the water and you're going to hate me and they're going to be like, oh wow, it's pretty nice in here. But the concept of mentally letting go of something, if you had to give one tip to people on being a better delegator, what would it be?
Have faith. Have faith and recognize the biggest thing actually that I recognized, I'm not the only one that can do it. There are other people that can do it. As much as I think I'm the only one who understands what my clients want and it's my voice that's coming out, believe me, people who, like you said, have spent any time with me, I'm a pretty quick read. So I have confidence that my teammates who are taking on these delegated tasks have read who I am and what we're presenting as a team.
That's great. Faith, right?
Mhm.
You know, it's it's interesting when you say faith, right? Because everyone in this business has this I have to get it done mentality, right? And learning to let go of that, 2 things, right, which are big breakthroughs I think you could talk to. One, learning how to let go and putting the right people around you, right? If you don't have faith in the person, it's probably the wrong people.
Correct.
And the
Yep.
second thing is the power of no. Let's talk a little bit about that.
You taught me that too. Actually, anybody that's been in this business, right? There's even a book written about it, The Power of No, right? Um, it's become really powerful. No, I cannot do that showing. Usually I'm just like, okay, I can squeeze it in between my, 10 to 12 client and my 1 to 4 client. Forget about lunch. I'll squeeze in another showing. Saying no is very powerful. It creates in this industry there's a demand. It's an overwhelming demand. So we're going to have to be better about scheduling time with our clients, meaning the other realtors. And the other thing is it's saying that I'm a priority, just like my clients are a priority, because if I go down, the whole ship goes down. And now I have people that depend on me in addition to my, my family. I have employees that I'm paying. So I cannot go down. And for my own well-being, I don't want to get burnt out. I had an amazing year last year. I truly believe another one of my mantras is the best is yet to come. And I truly believe that, but it's going to involve self-care in both my business and in my personal life.
So everyone take note on that one.
Mm.
Self-care, power of saying no. And now let's talk about, it's funny we bring up Frozen. One of the things pre-pandemic
Mm.
that Angela did, Angela, you're really good at, like, one of the best I've seen at clients, gifting, events, experiences. I remember one of the last times I actually went to a movie theater was bringing my kids. Angela rented out the entire movie theater in Greenwich, downtown Greenwich, for her and her clients to have a private screening of Frozen 2, which, by the way, was actually a good movie.
Yeah, it
We,
was.
we enjoyed it very much. And tell us about some of these concepts, right? Like when you go through, think about clients gifting, like what's your
Mm.
thought process for people that are not doing this, right? Or want to do it better? What are some tactical strategies that we can give them that they could leave here? Like the flower thing, right? Like we'll start with
Mhm.
flowers and we'll rattle off a bunch of other ones.
It's interesting because we also just did that. So I'll backtrack by saying one thing I'm going to do this year is have a retreat, Michael, out on Long Island. I'm Gurney's. I'm going to do an overnight, a 2-day with my team. And one of the things is going to be to plan out all the events. I'm praying to God, I'm confident we're going to be able to have life back to normal again. So when I look at the gifts that I give, I try to make them gifts people are going to use. I hate getting tchotchkes. I don't want to spend my money on something that's going to get thrown into a basket and thrown into the garbage can. So I try to make them um, as personalized as possible. For Christmas, I send out. Greenwich has these custom Christmas tree balls. They're glass and they're painted, hand painted of a scene throughout Greenwich Point, our beach. So I give that every year. And clients call me 7, 8 years now to say they take a photo of the Christmas ball and they say, "We look forward every year to your Christmas ball." Greenwich just had the Greenwich Monopoly set is a custom Monopoly based on Greenwich, all the places in Greenwich. Every one of my clients from the day I started in the business got the Greenwich Monopoly. Nest candles, things that I know people will use. This year, I will tell you, I used to be what I used to call a singles and doubles. I'm a big sports fan, so I always make these analogies. A singles and doubles girl. Every once in a while, I'd hit a triple. Rarely, a couple of times, I hit the home run and hit it out of the park with over 10 or $15 million houses. Usually in my market, that would be a $1 to $2 million perfect. Everybody knew that's where I played. This year, I had the great fortune of having higher priced homes. And one thing Chirag taught me is a higher priced home, higher priced gifts. So things like caviar. I don't eat caviar, but I'm learning. So I had to send or understand what caviar was. And I sent that to a client that bought a very big house. Now, that's a once in a lifetime kind of a thing. But I had to understand what this buyer, who this buyer was. And by the way, that buyer referred me his best friend, and I'm selling another equally big house in another month because it was not the caviar, but it was the basic things that I was doing for him. Here's the kindergarten, here's this. And by the way, he loved the Monopoly set. I probably didn't even have to send the stupid caviar. They loved the Monopoly set. One of the things I did during the pandemic right away, I sent every one of my clients puzzles. I had puzzles made and had them delivered, hand delivered to every one of their houses. We were all stuck inside. So I think the short answer is, and I give, when I do open houses, it's called Rose for Realtors when we have broker open houses. So it'll incent the realtors to come to the house. And of course, every closing, everybody gets wine. So short answer, I guess, too long.
And the annual flowers, right? Like once a
And the
year on the
flowers,
home anniversary.
every client on their anniversary gets flowers from me and a CMA.
See, it's both business and pleasure. See, look, it's the caring aspect, right? Like you'll find in Angela's personality. Like I remember Jody connected with her, and Jody's like, "She's my new best friend," and I'm like, "How did I know that was going to happen?" And
Yes, yes,
that
yes, yes.
it's that concept of the giver's gain, right? And Angela really takes the time to get to know people. But look, for all of us, what I want you to take out of what she shared, and then I'm going to leave some time because I know people are going to have questions, is where are you putting your time? Where are you putting your focus, right? We're all focused so much on new and more. Don't be like cable companies, right? Like, there are people in your network, there are people in your database, there are people that transacted with you. If you cultivate that kind of relationship, remember, when you go from being a client to somebody to close, the relationship becomes defined to undefined. Angela does one of the best jobs at defining that relationship, that I'm still your real estate agent, I'm your concierge. I'm someone that's like, I shared this with a lot of you, but like, if you think about it, a home is where you build your memories. A community is where you live your life in, right? So if you think about it, is you're first going to help them get a place to build memories, and then you're going to help them experience living their best life in that community, because the communities better than they do. If you look at with COVID, so many people are moving from all these different areas. So for everyone that's in a suburb here, this is a huge opportunity. So that
Chirag,
is kind of,
excuse me, I want to
yep,
say
go
one
ahead.
thing. I got a tip because we all collaborate, and some of you may be doing this, but I thought this was freaking amazing. From one of my other mastermind groups, I just created an Angela Swift team private Facebook for my clients. So I have all kinds of resources for my clients. I have so many clients that move from the city here. I create a private Facebook group so that they can collaborate. Who's got a great painter? Who has this? Who has that? In a setting of they're my clients. So I basically know them all. I'm confident that no one's going to, and if they did say something about me, I probably do have to work on it. So I'm open to that as well. But the other last thing, so creating a Facebook group, I just opened that up. I'm really excited about that, and my admin is going to monitor that. And the other thing, which is always stuck in my mind when I first started real estate, is the clients may not remember the journey, but they sure as heck are going to remember those last couple of days before the closing. And no matter what, you cannot change that perception if it's a bad perception at the very end, because they may not want to talk to you. I try my best to make sure at the end people realize this stressful process is now behind them. And like Chirag said, they now are embarking on a new chapter. And I'm there for them every step of the way. I look like a plumber sometimes with all the keys. I keep all my clients' keys because I'm here locally all the time in a time when it is crazy and I can help them out.
So for all of you guys that want to get tactical, ask yourself, what do the 30 days look like after somebody buys a home from you? And start focusing on that, right? And that's that whole 0 to 1. Let's start curating that experience and not leave it up to chance. So who has questions here? Just instead of putting them in the chat, let's just unmute ourselves and we can all be adults and just go one by one. So who has a question for Angela? We have a little bit of time before we start live role playing with Ethan. Where does Angela get the puzzles made?
Oh, Gallison. I'll send a link, but I think it's Gallison. Gallison is what I did last time. I did puzzles from New York because most of my clients had moved from New York to Greenwich. So it was sort of like, reminiscent of where they came from.
Anybody else? Questions?
Jody earlier wanted to know, how many clients are you talking about sending gifts out to, or is this just your A-list clients?
Oh no, it's all of them. I budget to send it to every single client that I've ever sent, including rentals. Every single one of them, I send a gift to. And I will tell you that Frozen thing, Chirag knows this story. There were over 3,000 people I had at the Frozen thing, or 400 people. I rented the entire movie theater, 400 people, $4,000 for the client event. And I invited all my clients. And before the event was over, a client said to me, by the way, we are so looking for a home. We completely forgot about you. Can you call us next week? Before the month was over, before calendar year 2019 was over, I had sold them a house for 10 times what it cost me. My commission was 10 times more than what I spent on the event. So money very well spent.
Customized Monopoly is made. Customized Monopoly, I guess it's made by them. I don't think you could make your own custom Monopoly set, right?
Yeah.
Greenwich makes it.
Grant, I can find out if someone wants to send me that email. I can find out. But yeah.
So how do people email? I'll put your email here, Rachel, can you put in angela.swift@compass.com?
Yep.
How many clients do you have that you actually send this stuff out to? Probably several hundred, I would imagine.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
I got goosebumps.
Angela, I have a question.
Yes.
Angela, this is Jody. I have a question. For someone like me who's been in the business almost 11 years, and now I switched to Compass and I'm trying to get my life organized, my CRM, what would be your best advice on how to get started? Because it's a little overwhelming with all the tools and everything, but like,
Yep, a great question. And the Greenwich office just exploded with new people coming. And I said exactly this. You can get really lost in the mire if you don't just strategize on how the tools. I would say CRM first, understanding the wealth of the marketing tools that we have. There is something for every day, couple of hours a week, that you can find in those marketing in the libraries or already pre-done that can help you just to get your name out there. Like today with 2020, or at least our 2020 review is coming out today. It's just another touch point. So CRM is going to be the hub of all your touch points. So I'd say CRM, understanding that, and then understanding what marketing tools you have that are pre-done that you don't have to do anything. It's like set it and forget it. And the last thing I would say is strategize on a very clear marketing plan of what you want to get out to those clients every month. Even if it's just written out, month 1, talk about this, month 2, talk about this. And the best way really for me to start the new year off is sending that checklist to all of my the purchasers, my buyers from years past, to say, don't forget to do this in the month of January, February, and March. It's an easy way to put you at the top of their list of thought.
where did you
If you're
find
going
the
to tell her to
checklist?
time block,
I can send that to you as well.
Okay, thank
right,
you.
so we'll send Rachel the checklist so she can get it out to everyone, or Rachel connect with Angela. She was, I think, asking to a simple time block, right? So we'll put your coach's hat on now. Like, how long should Jody time block every day and slowly take steps so she doesn't do the old Angela thing? I'm going to do it all in one day.
30 minutes a day. I find for me, 30 minutes a day, I am as ADD as they come, and I get fidgety and my phone starts blowing up anyway. So 30 minutes a day, I'm like Chirag, I get up early and work out. So my quiet time, if you don't have children my kids are older now, is that 8 o'clock. That's 7:30 to 8 or 7:45 to 8:15. That's before the rest of the world has jumped on their phones to start to annoy me.
All right, guys, we have time for one more question, then everyone stay on. We had great momentum last week with our role play. Ethan led a great session. Him and I actually spent an hour on Sunday delivering the perfect listing presentation from start to end. So we're going to chop it up and give it to everyone. So if you're not in an accountability group, reach out to Rachel to get into one. We have accountability. Angela, I don't know if you know this or not, for your team members too, we have accountability and role play group. So if you want to get into an accountability and a role play group, email Rachel.
Fabulous for them.
So does anyone else have any questions? If not, thank you. Thank you for sharing your journey. Thank you for always being a yes. And thank you for the energy that you bring to all these conversations, the community, and all that you do. Greenwich has definitely benefited from having you there. One of the things I want to share that Angela did, which was really nice, she raised a lot of money through a local concert for the local businesses and stuff. So like giving back to where you're from. And if you want to share that, we have 2 more minutes.
I'm so sorry, Chirag. I'm so sorry. I've been meaning to tell this to everybody. I was going to start this. So we just started a project that I think every one of you guys should do in your community. For us, it's hashtag Live Love Greenwich. Get on it right away. It is all about, we've gotten all of our community restaurants, the cafes, everybody. It's an Instagram, Live Love. For us, it's Greenwich. So it's Live Love, whatever it is, McLean, Virginia, whatever it is. And then what we did, and I can remind me to send this to you, Chirag. We have in the middle is the hashtag Live Love Greenwich in blue. And then around it, because Greenwich, our color for our town is green, it's the names of all the shops and cafes, etc. To tell people, hey, you got to shop local. You've got to, after all this craziness in the world, we've got to remember who we are here in Greenwich. We've got to be good to each other, help out our neighbors. And it's something that we are going to be talking about and trying to get Compass to get behind, just so you guys, it's an easy way to get your name out there. And everybody wants that, right? We all want live, love your community. So hashtag Live Love, whatever your community name is.
And there is your glass golden nugget of the day. And now I'll kick it over to thank you, Angela. I'll kick it over to Ethan, who I hope will take his mask off. There we go. I have to jump, guys, so I'll leave it to Ethan. You guys are in good hands. Angela, you are the best. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. So tomorrow, though, we are talking more about that segmented marketing that Angela talked about. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a great one, guys.